And this video, we're talking about how you can prepare for your US visa interview. Most times when people send me an email, you would find people who say that they do want to apply for a visa, but they don't know how to go about it. Now, to help you apply for the US visa, I would include the link. Now, the link I'm going to include would be applicable for applicants applying, from Nigeria. So if you're in any other territory, all you just need to do is change the country where you would be applying from. So to ensure that you have the right, you're at the right portal, I would include the link in the description box. So if you go there, you have to go in there and read the instruction. It would usually involve you completing a visa application form, making payment, and then booking an appointment for your interview. Now, after you do that, you would have to attend your interview. Now that you're ready, how do you prepare for your visa interview? The first thing you want to do is that you want to ensure that you understand the purpose of your trip. Now, why are you visiting? Why do you want to travel? Most times people just think, okay, what is the reason that I need, to tell them so that they will give me a visa? No. You have to understand your reason. If that's the reason why you want to go, then you're gambling, and this video is not for you. Understand why you want to go. Don't want to go see your family member and then you're saying you're applying for a conference, or you want to go on vacation and then you're saying, okay, just be truthful about it. Do you want to go on vacation? Yes, they give visas to people who go on vacation. Yes, you can say you are going on vacation. That's a reason to go. Your visa interview may not last beyond 5 minutes, so you have to ensure that whatever question that you're answering, it is genuine, because you have a limited period of time to prove your case, to convince them that yes, you deserve a visa. So you need to understand. Then secondly, after you understand that, I know that maybe if you watch the video with the common questions that are asked, you probably think, okay, that maybe you need to quote me verbatim. Don't be a scripted robot. If you understand the purpose of your trip, when you appear for your interview, you won't be scripted. You won't be repeating what someone else has told you. You would just be watching that video to understand that, okay, this question may arise, and when it comes, because I understand why I'm going, I would be able to respond to it as it applies to me. Also, another thing is that you want to be believable. You want to engage the officer. If you're talking to me about something that is important to you, or let's say something that about, maybe your family, your job, you would say it in a way that it would be believable. Yes, I know the interview room or the situation, the terrain is usually a very tensed one, so it makes it difficult for you to relax. But if you want something, then you would put in your best effort. So be natural, be believable. The idea is not for you to go there and lie. It's for you to go and present your case in the most believable way, because you need to own your truth, know your truth, and then you need to take the best part of it. Don't go there talking too much, answering questions that you're not asked, or revealing information that is not necessary. So take the best part of your reason and then present it. Make it. If you're trying to convince someone, you should learn a few tricks. So present your case in the most nice way, in a believable way, ways that will convince the visa officer that you do have genuine intentions. Now, there's a video that talks about strong ties, how to prove that you have strong ties. These are things that you should ensure that you watch before you attend your visa interview. There's also one that talks about financial, how to prove that you have money. I would include the link in the description box. You need to watch. These are videos you should watch, before you attend your visa interview. Now, another thing is how you show up. If you're, let's say, like a student, you don't need to appear for an interview wearing a suit and a tie. Like, what's the problem? It's not about that. You just look the part. You don't need, you're not a student and then you're wearing a tie and wearing a three-piece suit. What are you going to, So you need to look the part. If you're an engineer, you can, and then what you wear on the regular is a shirt and a jeans. Wear that. You don't need to go wear your like native attire because you are attending an interview. No. So look the part, because if you don't look the part, it would look like an act. You know, if you're a lawyer, you know, you don't want to go out there. Imagine that I say I'm a lawyer and then I go out there, you know, in very skimpy things, you know. Just, I would want to look the part, because lawyers naturally, if I'm going to a serious interview or something, I would want to look the part. So you look the part. I don't want to go in there with green hair. I would not appear, you know, for an important meeting, you know, looking that way, because I'm a lawyer. So at the same time, I don't expect that I should appear for an interview looking like that. So this is something that you also need to consider. Look the part. Don't go overboard. Don't be maybe like what's the word? Maybe like a farmer, and then you go look for suits. Like, seriously, you know. So you need to look the part and just make it blend, make it look natural. What would you do? You know, what would you do on the regular? Do exactly that. But you look clean, look presentable. You don't need to wear your Christmas cloth, you know. Just look clean and presentable. I always say maybe like smart casual, if that's what your job allows you, you know. But if you're in a more serious profession, that's okay to actually look the part. So if you've been denied a visa from that same, you know, from, let's say, if you've denied a US visa in the past or any other country, most times you probably be asked, you know, questions like that. They know they have your record. You, once you have applied before and they take your biometrics, they have your data and it stays there in the system for as long as they want it to. Sometimes it might even remain there, you know, forever. So you can't be lying about important things. You know, you might think, okay, maybe any other country, oh, they'll ask you, have you been denied with any other? Most times they're just concerned about their country. But if they ask you about any other country, yes, I know most times if you've been denied 10 times, then there's a problem. You know, normally I don't expect that you've been denied. If you've been denied 10 times, then there's a chance you'll probably be denied again. But be truthful. I'm not saying go there and say I have been denied 10 times. You can mention, you can just talk about, you know, the last denial, or maybe anyone that you think, okay, it's significant or is relevant information that they should know. If you, let's say you were deported or something like that, and they ask you, you know, you just tell the truth. And most times they would ask you why. You know, now if you've been deported, it is a red flag. Most countries will not treat you nicely. So it is not, would it change the case for you? Do you think that maybe if you've been deported, you will be granted a visa? It would just depend on the circumstances. I wouldn't say no, because there are people who have had experiences and then they were able to correct it. But I'm saying that is a red flag for you. So if you've been deported, you need to do more than the regular person to be able to qualify or be eligible for a visa. So if they ask you if you've been denied, you know, by any other country, feel free to volunteer that information. But I'm not saying go about and list all 10. You can list the most relevant one or maybe the last one. Again, you might have less than 5 minutes to present your case, so you don't need, most in the US visa interview, they don't request for documents. So don't expect that you have documents to prove to them, to prove whatever you're saying. You will be assessed solely based on the information you provided in the visa application form. That's why you have to be careful when filling it. Talk to someone if you don't, if you want them to look at it, you know, just to ensure that you did the right thing, you know, depending on your circumstance. We offer visa support services. I would also include the link so you go and look at the services that we offer. Now, we don't do it for you. We encourage you. The idea is that we review what you have done. So we want to encourage you to do it yourself. Once we've reviewed it once, you realize that in future you will probably not need us to do it again. So because you would know, we would put you through the mistakes that you should not make, you know, the things that do not align, you know. So that's the service that we offer. We would not do it for you, but we would put you through the process after we see that you have done it for yourself. So if you do want to take advantage of any of the services, there's a link. I would include the link in the description box, so you can go follow the instructions and then you can get in touch with us. You would be assessed based on your the information you provided in your visa application form, and also your performance at the interview. So that's why it's important. You have, like I said, you have a short window of time to present your case. Nobody's going to be asking you, they're going to be asking you specific questions, and you just need to supply, you know, the sufficient answers to convince them that you do, you know, qualify for a visa, you know, and that you do have genuine intention. So I hope that this was useful. If you do have any questions, you know, leave it here. I would respond to it. I'm only able to respond to questions here, you know, but if you do require visa support services, then you need to follow the instructions. You cannot contact me on phone because, you know, there is a process, you know, for you to be able to, you know, reach out to us, and that is through the visa support, you know, services. Other than that, if you leave your comments, I would respond to them. So have a good day. Bye.